Hi friends, welcome to Learning English Literature. இன்னைக்கு நம்ம The Way of the World அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு பிளேலேருந்து ஒரு சில MCQs பார்க்கலாம். What purpose does the interaction between Sir Rowland and Lady Wishford serve as they discuss marriage in The Way of the World? As a caricature of courtship, to demonstrate the honesty of two characters, to convey Contreve's opinion of restoration courtship, to consolidate their arrangement. Correct answer: to convey Contreve's opinion of restoration courtship. What kind of person is Sir Wilfrid Woodward? Youthful and crude, genuine but uncultured, happy-go-lucky, rude and pretentious. Correct answer: happy-go-lucky. Why did Congreve use the epilogue? It satisfies his need for self-justification, to urge the critic to praise his play. It provides the opportunity for a pre-planned response to his critic, to deter the critic by ranting against their analysis. The correct answer is to deter the critic by ranting against their analysis. What has happened to Waitwell after Lady Wishford discovered who he really is? Mrs. Marwood betrayed him. Mirabell fires him. Final had him arrested. Foible tries to kill him. Correct answer: Final had him arrested. The Way of the World opens at a dash. Chocolate house, bath, theatre, club. Correct answer: chocolate house. The Restoration of 1660 brought what to England? Years of civil war and turmoil, a surrogate monarch, a Tudor monarch, the return of Catholicism as state religion. The return of Catholicism as state religion. In Congreve, The Way of the World, characters are chiefly admired for dash: their maliciousness, their wit, their passion, their honor. Correct answer: their wit. Congreve, The Way of the World was dash. Produced in 1700, the last play he ever wrote. Produced in 1693 and established him as a promising new playwright. Produced in 1700 as a critic of Restoration drama. Produced in 1693, a near failure before growing in popular over time. Correct answer: produced in 1700, the last play he ever wrote. The supporters of Charles I were called dash: Anglicans, Puritans, Georgians, Cavaliers. Answer: Cavaliers. Mrs. Marwood hates Mirabell and justified her hatred, saying that he is dash: selfish, adamant, proud, simple-minded. Answer: proud. Who instituted the cable night to propagate aversion to men? Mrs. Marwood, Mrs. Final, Lady Wishford, Milament. Answer Lady Wishford. Foible promises to carry Lady Wishford's photograph to dash. Mirabell, Sir Rowland, Whitwood, waitwell. Answer Sir Rowland. The epigraph found on the title pages of the 1700 edition of The Way of the World contains two Latin quotations from dash. Longinus on the Sublime, Sidney's An Apology for Poetry, Horace satire, none of the above. Answer Horace satire. Lady Wishford, who is dash years old, is vain and susceptible to false flattery. 45, 55, 58, 50. Answer 55. Milament controlled half of her fortune while Dash controlled the other half. Lady Wishford, Mrs. Final, Mirabell, Mrs. Marwood. Answer Lady Wishford. The theme in this play include love, money and dash. Human suffering, family ties, interview, revenge. Answer intrigue. Who is trying to steal Milament's inheritance? Mrs. Final, Mrs. Marwood, Mirabell. Answer Final. In Congreve, The Way of the World, Final pursues dash. Love, money, liberty, moral reform. Answer money. Congreve, The Way of the World appeared in the year dash 1687, 1689, 1695, 1700. Answer 1700. 18th century author of The School for Scandal and critic is Dash. Goldsmith, Steele, Johnson, Sheridan. Answer Sheridan. Whitwood and waitwell are characters from dash. The Rivals, Tom Jones, The Way of the World, The School for Scandal. Answer The Way of the World. What was the first to call the age of Pope and Johnson as the Augustan age? Addison, Fielding, Goldsmith, Samuel Johnson. Answer Goldsmith. Which game Mirabell and Final played in The Way of the World? Card, chess, cricket, football. Answer card. Who won the God game? Final, Mirabell, Marwood, Lady Wishford. Answer Final. In which park Mrs. Final and Mrs. Marwood discuss about men and their inconstancy? St. Park, St. Peter Park, St. James Park, St. Finals Park. Answer St. James Park.